Trial of Donna Adelson coming up later this year. We've recently learned that the hitman is going to be testifying against her. No shock to any of that. But the questions still remain. How much involvement did Donna have in all of this? And I think the question, too, is how much did Donna realize, her influence would have an impact on all of this, of the life of Dan Markel being taken. Joining me to discuss, Eric Faddis, defense attorney, former prosecutor. We're getting closer and closer on this. What's your take on this case as we're inching towards the trial date?
This case has been a saga, and it's really made up of multiple cases. We've had a lot of the other actors tried and convicted. And
Hmm.
so now we're sort of going up the chain. And how far attenuated are we going to get? I think defense is probably going to say, hey, this was just a mother who was trying to be protective and loving and didn't do anything criminal. And there's going to come a point where it's so attenuated that we're past the point of criminality. Is Donna free in that sense? We'll have to see.
There's a lot of questions to it. Exactly what did she know? When did she do it? What did she order? Did she? Was this a casual conversation? Was it as casual as Charlie likes to talk about it as of, I was going to get you a hitman, but I got you a TV instead. And then it turns out you got a girlfriend that knows a hitman that knows a hitman. And it gets darker and darker.
Weird
Um,
friend group.
but it does seem that Donna does have some knowledge of what's going on, as was evident in this phone call that we're about to hear. This is after Donna actually met with an FBI agent on the street who was posing as part of the hit group, but to get some reaction to see exactly what Donna would do when presented with information about them helping their situation. It's hard to hear exactly what she says, but let's take a listen.
Did someone write a letter to you or something?
I got some paperwork hand delivered to me.
You're being sued?
No, that's what I thought it was, but I'm going to talk to you.
Does it involve me or other people?
Well, probably both of them.
What's that?
Probably the two of them. So you probably have a general idea what I'm talking about.
It's hard to hear there, but Charlie asks, does it involve me or other people? Her response is twice, probably both of us. That doesn't look very good.
No, it's a horrible look, especially when we're talking about a murder for hire plot. But people's defense is going to say, people say things, and do they really mean them? And what's the interpretation of both of us? And how far does it go in terms of involvement? Still a lot of unanswered questions there that will hopefully come to light at trial.
It's gonna be interesting to see what we find out. There's other people in this case too. Harvey, the dad, it's kind of there. We've seen him in the arrest video when they arrested Donna at the airport. I guess the question is why Harvey? Why has Harvey not seen any charges in this yet, or is it because there's just no evidence directly linking him to all of this?
I mean, according to the government, this was by all accounts a family affair,
Hmm.
right? You had all of the Adelsons, so many of them involved in this hit, and some have been convicted. And so, was the dad just completely oblivious, watching golf and drinking a beer while the family was plotting a murder? It seems implausible.
It does, but I could see it. In some cases, I know dads that are like that, where it's like completely oblivious to what's going on in the family. And quite honestly, when you do see a narcissistic, mother like this, quite often the dads are exactly that. They're quiet, they're passive, they just kind of, this is, I've talked to psychologists about this, and this is what the typical dynamic is. So it actually is more plausible, I think, than we may think.
Yeah, that's an interesting point. Just with when you look at Donna Adelson's personality and her protectiveness and alleged involvement in this case, I could see her being kind of the not wearing the pants in the relationship, but having some control and some influence over the husband.
I think wearing the pantsuit, wearing the jacket, wearing the everything. I think everything's in control of Donna, and Harvey's just like, okay, I'm gonna get another beer. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
That's just kind of how it feels. Let's talk about Wendi Adelson, who has not been charged with anything. And normally, in cases like this, where a spouse or an ex dies, is or murdered, the first person that goes down is the former spouse, if that family had anything to do with it. But in this case, Charlie went down. Donna's going down. But Wendi just kind of seems to be in this weird enmeshed relationship with her family where they're looking out for her. But does she know anything? Or does she just kind of know her family and what they're capable of? Let's take a look at the interrogation video when she finds out that Danny, as she calls him, is not going to make it.
There was a shooting at your home, or your ex-husband's home, at 2116 Trescott. Okay. Your ex-husband, excuse me, Daniel, all right, has been taken to the hospital. He's not going to survive.
Oh my God.
Okay?
I have a lot of friends.
I know.
How do you know that?
Well, you had two of them up there for a last-minute lunch date, right?
Last minute?
Well, I mean, you went up there, you're sitting with them, you have friends.
I do. What I meant by it is that Danny didn't treat me very well, and I'm so scared that maybe someone did this. Not because they hate Danny, but because they thought this was good somehow.
Oh, are you saying that you think maybe one of your friends would have done something
Who
like
would
this?
do this?
I don't know. That's why you're here, and that's why we're talking. Would you ever ask someone to do something like this?
Not in a million years.
Okay. Do you think someone would do this for your benefit without asking you?
No.
What good does it serve?
I made my brother, his name is Charlie, the one I'm really close to. He makes a lot of jokes in bad taste, and it was a joke he made. He bought the TV for me this morning that got broken, and I was talking to him about whether it made sense to pay to fix it or whether I should get a new one, and it was always his joke that, like, he knew Danny treated me badly, and it was always his joke. He said, I looked into hiring a hitman, and it was cheaper to get you this TV, so instead I got you this TV. I mean, he would never. He's my big brother, and he's been taking care of me since I was little, but he would never. And I told that to the repair guy this morning.
Right. That's okay.
I said, he asked me how much it cost, and I said I didn't know because it was a gift, because my brother said it's cheaper than a hitman. It was my divorce present.
Okay.
Such a horrible thing to say. I'm so sorry.
That's okay.
But even my family, who felt like I had been mistreated, would never do something like this. Never.
Kind of offers up everybody on a platter. Why? Again,
Yeah,
is it consciousness of guilt, or like does she know something, or does she just know her family?
talk about like echoing the prosecution's theory to a T.
Exactly.
And in a way that is consistent with how juries have found that this went down. She's given it all up from the beginning to the police.
Yeah.
And, is there something in her mind from that conversation where she thinks, oh, maybe Charlie wasn't kidding so much about that hitman, or maybe she had even more knowledge?
That's the thing. And at this point in this case and in this investigation, if there was clear evidence linking Wendi to having knowledge, wouldn't she have been arrested by now?
I've got to figured we'd be there months ago, if not longer ago, because like you said, the mother is already implicated. They've got the hitman, they've got the intermediary, they've got the hitman's helper, they've got the brother, and so, like you said, usually the spouse of the decedent is the first person they go to. Are they being overly nice to her? Do they already have their pound of flesh, the people they want to go after? That's one theory.
Or are they just waiting one by one and just kind of knocking them down and waiting for, I mean, more evidence to surface? Because maybe maybe this isn't enough yet. I don't know. I don't see any reason why Wendy would not be in custody at this point if there is true linking her to this crime.
One thing that strikes me, Tony, is Wendy was also a law professor. So the
Mhm.
victim, Dan Markel, was a law professor. Wendy was too.
Yeah,
And so if there's anyone who knows how the system works and how to protect themselves and
true.
how to make sure there are no traces and that kind of thing, it would be her.
That's true. And you have to wonder, how much she's using that knowledge to help herself with the system. Anybody would if you're in that sort of situation. Yeah, but when you're in a narcissistic family unit like that, yeah, people will do things, and I could see her honestly. Her reactions do seem pretty authentic. But she knows her family, but does she know what her family did? And that's the question.
And Tony, one thing is like how presumptuous of the brother Charlie. If Wendy had no knowledge and the brother Charlie just said, "Oh, hey, I didn't say anything, just thought, hey, I hate your husband," and then went and killed him without telling Wendy anything about this, that just seems bizarre, especially with how close
Hmm.
Wendy and Charlie were.
Yeah, it's all extremely bizarre. It's going to be very fascinating once we see Donna in court here in the coming months. Hey, thanks for checking out the video. Be sure to follow us wherever you download podcasts, and especially Apple Podcasts, where you can get advanced episode and premium content on our premium channel right there. Also, be sure to follow us on social media so you don't miss any breaking updates on the stories that matter to you most. We're on TikTok, X, Instagram, Facebook. Just search Hidden Killers Podcast with Tony Brueski, and you'll find us right there. Again, thanks for watching.